Well, hello, everybody. Is that good morning? Very nice. All right, I am Fish, and I'm going to be leading the meditation today. And I'm just going to take this moment to invite you guys to take a deep breath, to just settle into your chair and relax your body, and just do your very best to feel happy. Just allow that happiness to settle into you, settle into your lungs, into your heart, into your chair, into your feet. And then I invite you to focus on your consciousness. The consciousness that is within your head. And I just invite you to gently withdraw it from your body. Withdraw it from your emotions. Withdraw it from any pain you might be feeling. Any emotions. Anything that feels binding and limiting. Just withdraw your consciousness from that and allow it to settle right on the top of your head. Just clear the body mind and bring the consciousness up. Now, in this state of relaxed being, I invite you to visualize a waterfall. Any beautiful waterfall you've ever seen. Anyone that has moved you and allowed you to see the beauty of this world. Visualize yourself standing in front of that waterfall. And you are feeling the warmth of the day, the warmth of the sun. Breathing the cool, damp air. Make this visualization as real as possible. See yourself moving towards the waterfall, and you step in and allow that water to just fall over your entire body. Again, make this as real as you can. Feel the difference between the temperature of the water and the temperature of the air. Let the water flow. And as it's flowing, witness how it's cleansing your hair, your skin, your shoulders, washing all the grime and the dirt off of your physical body. Make this as real as you can. See it going a little bit deeper. Erasing and washing away the sorrow, the pleasure, the pain, anything emotional that is sticking to you is sliding right off, just slipping away. You find that your mind is being cleared, and your body feels wonderful. As you're breathing into this and allowing the water to cleanse your body, now visualize that water penetrating your skin. Visualize it entering the top of your head and washing your brain tissue. Feel the water running over your eyes, through your sinuses, through your ear canals, just cleansing everything. Feel the water running down your throat, over your shoulders, over your bones, penetrating every part of your body. Feel the water filling your lungs and releasing anything toxic in your lungs. Feel the water flowing down your esophagus into your belly, cleansing and purifying everything as it flows. Let the water in. Let yourself heal. Feel the water flowing freely without impediment as it fills your intestines, cleansing and purifying, as it fills every cell in your body, purifying, extracting, cleansing, loving. We are cleaning ourselves right here from the inside to the outside. And now let your mouth gently open and let the water wash through your mouth. Feel it filling your body completely and exiting your body completely. Feel as though you and the water are one. You are no longer solid, you are transparent. We're going to settle in this space of transparency for a few moments. If you find that your thoughts are entering, just let them flow out with the flow of the water. Allow yourself to play, to splash, to meditate, to be still, whatever you feel called to do. But just continue to let the water wash away anything that is not perfect health. Focus on the awareness that is surrounding you. Take a deep breath and step out of the waterfall. There's a big, warm, thirsty towel ready to greet you. And as you walk to the edge of the pool and sit on the rocks and let the sun warm you and the towel dry you, you take a moment to look at the scenery around you. The beautiful plants growing at the side of the water. All the little animals and the insects. And you just breathe in that gratitude. So thankful. So thankful for this moment in nature. So thankful for this moment in time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, life. Thank you, clarity. Thank you, water. Thank you, love. Thank you, spirit. Allow yourself to feel that gratitude. And allow that to be what carries you through this day. And just know, as you fill yourself up with that gratitude, it is what you radiate to every other living thing. And now just take a moment to take a deep breath. Pull your consciousness back into your body. And I just invite you to rub your hands together. You can touch your face, touch your thighs. Recognize where you're at, and when you're ready, open your eyes.
lights of CSL Prescott are shining upon me. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Jackson.
I guess I'll just quickly say, and you know, I think it was Ralph Waldo Emerson. It might have been Ralph Waldo Emerson in his essay Self-Reliance that said something to the effect, if what you believe is true for you is true for all people, that is genius. Now I could argue, am I right? Is that Ralph Waldo Emerson? And I say that because my getting here today, me personally, was a little, we'll use the scientific term, interesting. And so, if you similarly in the last 24 hours have had an interesting time getting here today, I'm going to ask you, like I'm doing for me, to take a breath in and feel that last 24 hours and let it vanish into the past, and here we are in the present. We made it, everybody. Yes. We made it to CSL Prescott Sunday morning. Man, what a blessing that is. And speaking of blessings, we have, and this was amazing because as of 24 hours ago, look at me living in the past again. We didn't know if he was going to be here, but he is here, Sky Conwell, and if you don't know Sky and you don't love Sky, you will. Tracy is giving the talk, and that is always good news. And we have Clay in the control tower, and that is always good news. So we have the light. And our job is to, regardless of whether you are stranded on the I-17 in the middle of the night or not, our job is to shine the light. And so we are going to affirm shining the light with a little song that you remember from when you were just a little, as my dad would say, a little shaver. And never knew. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you heard the term? Yeah, see, that's, some people are like, what is this guy talking about? But that's what my dad called young people. Oh, you're a little shaver. He might be listening right now, actually. He's an avid online listener. So Dad, that one's for you, pal. Oh, let's give it the Bob treatment. The Bob treatment. The Bob treatment. Let's sing this. Well, this is love. Oh, that's the wrong key. That's what it's wrong. There it is. I'm gonna let it shine. That's right. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
There you go. Need a tad bit hot. Can we turn it down just a little bit? Thank you. It is warm up here. Lights and, my brightness just makes it so warm. Good morning and welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living Prescott. My name is Tracy, Reverend Tracy, and I am the Senior Minister, Spiritual Director. It's so wonderful to have you here. Let's take a collective breath. Fish and I were working our nerves in the back room. We were stretching and, doing the Olympics and getting all of the nerves off, because no matter how much you do this, you do still get nervous. And for me, it's wondering, Spirit, are you there? You going to come through today? Because you never know what's going to be talked about. But today we are talking about fear to love, and we'll get more into that, into the talk. What I just want to say is welcome to you online. Welcome to you here in the community. So grateful that you are here. It is evidence of the abundance of the universe. And it makes my heart full to see you and to be able to share these couple of hours that we have to celebrate our lives, spirituality, our journeys, our becoming. 2 hours out of the week that you took time for yourself to see what Spirit has for you. So give yourself a round of applause. It's not always easy to get to church on Sunday morning because, TV is always beckoning. Ice skating's over, so there's nothing to stay home for. I'm just saying. But anyways, we just really want to welcome you. A couple of announcements. Sudra has Drum Circle on Wednesday nights at 5:30, and she invites you. It's a love offering, so, just bring your drum, your delightful self, and sit out on the patio. If it's cold enough, she can start a fire, and you can howl and drum at the moon. And we would love to invite you for that and to come forward. We have classes starting in March, spiritual principles and practices I will be doing, and Dee will be doing a meditation class. So we've already had some people sign up for that, so thank you. We have a garage sale coming. We do need volunteers and help, and you can bring stuff, but it is a fundraising for our community, and your help would be greatly appreciated. There is a sign-up sheet, and then once we get everybody signed up, Saturday, March the 7th, I believe it is. The slide is up, so don't always listen to my dates. Check the date, and there's now a calendar in the white box out front of the door, so you can start to see our calendar fill up and know when things are coming. But once we get the full list, then we'll send out the details of how we want to arrange and work towards getting everything inside or outside, depending on the weather. Maybe inside, outside. We're thinking about doing some food and putting my husband to work. Let's see, what else did I have to talk to you about? Classes, yep. And one other thing I just wanted to address, that there was some literature that went out to the community that there was going to be a meeting on March 1st, but that meeting has been canceled. So if you're online or you're here, just so you know, the March 1st meeting has been canceled. Our annual business meeting was moved to March, so that's on the calendar as well, just so that we can meet back with the board, get all the paperwork that we need, and get some things in order to present you with proper financials. We had some folks that were having some illnesses and things of this nature, and we wanted them healthy and whole to gather together as a board to get the proper documents for you to review. So we're looking forward to doing that and being able to deliver them to you. I think that's all I have for you this morning, so thank you. This is Fish Smith. Fish is going to be doing the invocation. Fish was a practitioner for a very long time. Her path has taken her to different studies. She studies with Gita Saradarian at, what is the name of her school now? Torquem Saradarian University in Scottsdale. She's been studying there 7 years now, right? Yeah, 7 years. So she's going to do our invocation and our reading, and we love her consciousness. She holds a high level of consciousness, so we're always grateful when she can bless us with her presence. So thank you, Fish. I'll leave you to it.
Well, thank you for that. And in this very moment, I just invite everyone here to collectively understand that this is sacred space. I invite us all to attach our hearts to the space, to the center, to each other, to open our senses, to be able to understand and feel and express and radiate all the love that is going to be present today in this space. I ask us to open our hearts to all the volunteers, every hand and heart that made it possible for this day to come together, to open our understanding and the wisdom that comes through the music that is played, the intensity of all the emotions that get risen in moments like this, that we open ourselves and our soul to hear the directives of the words being spoken by our own beloved Reverend Tracy Herrick. And that we just recognize that we are all one in this space and there is nothing separating us. Our consciousness is that beautiful radiation that we carry and touch and realize life through. So I just invite us all to settle in and experience this day, enjoy it, laugh, love, and move from fear into love, as the talk is going to tell us. And together we say, and so it is.
This is an Eddie Watkins song. Sing this with me. God is, I
Okay. Oh, I'm going to do my reading. I'm so sorry. All right, my reading is from Torquem Saradarian's book, Prayer, and it's called Native American Prayer. Today, I am talking about a Native American prayer. While I was looking for some land in the mountains of Sedona in Arizona, I found an Indian prayer wheel, and I was thinking about what the stones meant when I saw a Native American man approaching. He sat by me and we meditated simultaneously without talking to each other. When the meditation finished, he gave me a prayer. It was so beautiful. The prayer is this: in joy, I recover. In joy, I cool down. In joy, my eyes regain power. In joy, my head becomes serene. In joy, my legs regain power. In joy, I hear again. In joy, all depressions and spells are gone. In joy, I walk. In beauty, I walk. And so it is. And Now the candle lighters. All right. The Center for Spiritual Living Prescott, guided by the science of mind, acknowledges the diverse faiths and spiritual traditions that enrich our world. Each belief system offers a distinct understanding of the mysteries of existence and a unique connection with the divine. Lighting these candles symbolizes our collective reverence for the diverse paths humans take in search of meaning and purpose. This shared moment, we affirm and celebrate the multiplicity of the human experience. So we light a candle for Christianity. And this one is based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love and forgiveness and healing by the presence within. And then we light one for Islam, for its teachings and belief in the one and only God, creator of the heaven and the earth. And then we light one for Judaism, which is a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with a covenant between Abraham and God. And we light one for Buddhism, which is the middle path of non-attachment that ends suffering. Sounds nice. We light one for Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. And we light one for traditions of indigenous people everywhere, honoring their close and sacred connection to the earth and the sky and the water. We light one for Baha'i, the path of unity and of peace. We light one for the goddess traditions, celebrating the power and the wisdom of the feminine energies, including nature and nurture. And we light one for the science of mind, a philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good and that we can use it. And if you'll join me in reading the affirmation, I am here for God. My purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything I do. The good I seek for myself is what I desire for all people everywhere. Thank you.
I choose the time. I'll climb the hill my own way. Just wait a while for the right day. And as I rise above the trees, I look down. I hear the sound, the things you said today. fearlessly face the crowd. Smiling. Merciless, the magistrate turns around. Go down your own way, and every day is the right day. As you rise above the fear lines in his brow, you look down. You hear the sound of the faces in the crowd.
I love when Sky's here. Isn't that amazing? I like that. And the song lined up perfectly. And when Fish and I were in the back room, we were practicing a rap that we were going to sing for you, but I will save you. I will save you. No need to be afraid. You do not want to hear me rap. Although, you know, I think I'm pretty good. It's so good to see you all guys again. It just seems like I saw you a few minutes ago. Today we are talking about fear and fear to love. And in my own journey, I've been really looking at the physiological response of fear. And one of the things I noticed about myself is I could be watching TV and not really having many thoughts at all because I'm watching TV, but I'll notice that like my back is arched or I'm holding my body really tense or tightly, and I relax and I'm like, wow, I wasn't really thinking anything particular for my body to be held so tightly. And I started to realize that the body informs the mind. And quite often we think it's the mind that informs the body that we're in fear. Well, the mind holds a belief and the body reacts. But often a lot of the things that set us into that fight, yeah, move, get the heck out of here. It is usually these deep unconscious traumas, and we know the ones that directly trigger us because we have a visceral response to them. Maybe we justify, we defend, we worry, we move to fear, we need to be relieved of our angst right away. And then there's those that I call them our dirty little secret, the thing that we keep within ourselves that we don't really want anyone to see about us, but we know it about ourselves. And that when something happens, we usually lead with that. And that's typically the idea of I'm not enough, or I had a thing where it must be me. Anytime anything went wrong, I was brought up, oh, it must be me. This is mine to fix. I have to do it. And spending more time with my parents, I've learned where a lot of these ideas and beliefs have come from. And one of the things I've recognized about my mom recently, at no fault of her own, because it was probably inflicted upon her as well, is the idea of withholding love. If you did something wrong, or you made a mistake, or we're held to a degree of accountability that probably most children cannot measure up to. And, her way of probably trying to correct the behavior so that we didn't suffer the same indignation she did being in a Catholic school was to really prove her point the best way that she knew how. So I started to recognize this, not necessarily that action towards others, although that probably does come about. It's more of when that's happening to me, how I run inward and can be triggered very easily, sometimes without even knowing that I'm triggered. And so one of the things that we really come to do is to find relationships that trust has been built with, that they've earned your trust, that you can share these things. And being a verbal processor, for me, I got to find the person that allows me to talk openly until I'm done. And luckily I have Fish, but she does learn to put a timer on it. Because getting it out viscerally is a physiological release of the body in itself. It brings you down. And then what I've learned is to then go and look at it and see what is there for me, to see what my body was trying to tell me. Now, I recently saw on probably Instagram or something, this nurse that was showing a healthy brain, and then it had the backbone, and then the nervous system. And we use the word nervous system dysregulated, emotionally dysregulated a lot, but I don't really think I ever stopped to recognize how vast the nervous system is in our body, and that it literally wraps around every aspect of our inner parts of us, right? That the nerves, and that the nerves are actually the nervous system. I don't know why I disassociated those two. But once I saw how vast it is in the body, and I was looking at this and I thought, wow, that is so powerful. And that in itself has its own, a life of itself, that its own viability, and that it actually takes on this, life of its own to protect us. And that it is directly connected to the mind. And then the mind's job is never anything new, because the mind is like a computer that just absorbs everything that's happened to you and stores it. So anything that is close to familiar to what you've been through is perceived as a threat by the mind. By the body, it informs the mind, then the trigger happens, and it all happens in a matter of seconds. And then when it's all over, we might have sent that email, we might have had that phone call, we might have go back and reread something. I recently read something, and I was so sure of what it said, and then when I went back to reread it, I was like, oh, I got that wrong. And so, I'm really good at going, hey, I got that wrong. Let me reread it. And sometimes I have to read it to my husband. Sometimes I have to have my husband read it back to me, because we have a framework that we're all working within of how we were raised, what our belief patterns are, our conditioning, our beliefs about life, the planet, the universe, God, and everything is framed in this framework. So you can't really read something outside of your framework until your mind becomes newly informed about something else. So when you are taking something in, the mind cannot experience anything new. You can only taste an orange once, right? And you can only have an experience once, and then once that's imprinted on you, you are forever responding from that space of the time it was imprinted. And the idea of the spiritual journey or the awakening is to start looking at all of that, to kind of turn the lens up on yourself, and to learn to do it in a loving way, judgment-free. So, that's what we offer classes for, so that we can start to put the tools in our tool belt to look at those ideas that we hold about ourselves that we want to let go of, to really find the true freedom. And freedom really is being free from the mind and its visceral responses and reactions to the world, and to be able to move. Life is always going to happen. There are always going to be job losses, people dying, there's going to be conflict, there's going to be resolution, there's going to be people leaving and people coming and people going. But the idea that we have about people coming, people going, conflict, is how we're meeting it. And if we want to meet it in a new way and it's causing us suffering, it's our job to do. I remember this talk by Michelle Modrano, I think I mentioned it last, was, it's your button. And when our buttons are pushed, it is our responsibility to look. And sometimes it is quite painful to move from fear to love. Usually, we start by going out. We have fear. We might have had a disagreement. We want to go to that person. We want to explain to them. We want to show them that they're loving. If you're a people pleaser. You want to prove to them that you're loving. You almost need their validation that you're loving so that you can be relieved of the tenseness in your body. And if you've ever recognized when you've let go of the tenseness or you've unloaded yourself onto somebody else, you feel really good. But we don't really stop to think about how the other person might feel about being unloaded on. But that is their responsibility, and there lies communication and boundary setting. So boundaries are usually the first step in our efforts to move towards love. And it can be quite challenging. And this idea of love, because there are so many, romantic love, agape love, God's love. But you know, one of the things that I heard Audrey Shante, a teacher, say one time is love is fierce. God's love is fierce. And it doesn't always feel good to the mind, because in order to be set free of a deeply held belief, you gotta let go. And if that belief is serving you in your protection mechanism, you are going to look for someone else to be responsible for what you are feeling or how it made you feel. And this does not really mean that there aren't unkind people, or we all know unkind things happen in the world. We see it playing out. But what we are saying is how we are responsible to that is to speak our truth, not our pain, and call it truth. So we are responsible for thinking, dropping in, I would say, giving time between the reaction and the response, and allowing the feeling of the emotional reactivity to dissipate so that you are in a clear space to have a conversation and there's not this ping pong reaction going on. And when we've given ourselves that time, we've given ourselves love. When we give ourselves love, time, there is no emergency. You'll know when it's an emergency, right? Like, I don't know for the ladies, if you've had babies and you would ask the doctor, your first baby, how will I know when I'm in labor? You will know. So you'll know, and when that time comes, you know. You can't really mistake it. It's the same for emotional reactivity. You can't really mistake it, but what the mind can do is go, oh, you're calm now. Oh, you're good. And then the minute you start thinking about having that conversation or meeting that, whatever it is, and if the body starts to tighten again, we have to pay attention to that and not the voice that says you're ready. When your body is ready to have a conversation, it will be completely relaxed. It doesn't mean it won't be a little nervous. It doesn't mean that you won't play the conversation through your mind, but it does mean that you will be more open and aware and seated in presence to have a dialogue than from the framework or your story where you're justifying your position. We cannot get clarity through being closed off. We cannot get clarity when we are clamped up. We cannot be connected to the higher divine mind when we are so sure and standing on our own principle. So love says, be prepared through your own preparedness. Your self-love, the way you treat yourself, the way you move and have your being, we all make mistakes. How do you treat yourself when you've made a mistake? How do you treat yourself when you've said something off the cuff? How do you treat yourself when there's been a loss and you think you're responsible for it? That is the key to loving oneself, is how you treat yourself is typically equal to how you might treat others. And that's how you can kind of gauge where someone's at. And then, you know, all of these other little parts of us start to interplay with one another. If you're a people pleaser, you attract controller. If you're a controller, you attract a people pleaser. And there's really just this cycle of different personality types that are always attracting another type of personality. And what we look to do is for you to help identify the preservation strategies that you have deployed to help yourself feel safe and not be constricted, so that you can start to look at them in a loving way and understand it's not your fault. It doesn't really matter how you got there. What matters now is you start to identify and learn, and then the true freedom is responding differently. It might not be perfect, but if it's different, you've made progress, and that is love. Love is the progress you make towards yourself on your path home. Now, I think between love, I'll give Sue and John Love the credit for this in their book. As I kind of dissect it and come to my own understanding of it, there's a space between fear and love, and it's faith. When we start to change our trajectory and we start to move those ruts that I talked about last Sunday, and we start to deploy new skills to get a new experience, we have to have faith. We have to develop our faith that there is a power and a presence in the universe that really does have us, that really is helping us look by the people that it brings to us, by the situations that it brings to us, and our level of release to it, our level of acceptance to what's going on is in direct concordance of our fear as well. And things happen. Sue's going to be doing a talk. Her and John will be doing a talk on March 15th where they will talk about their story. But as I was reading it, I was really trying to put myself in that position of how mad I would have been at God. That I quite am often mad at God because I'm mad at myself. And I'm often thinking, what do I need to do to feel 1 ounce of your love? If I feel like just 1 ounce of your love, then I will be able to give an ounce of your love. And someone said to me recently, that's equal to what you give to yourself with your mental attitude. That faith is the bridge between fear and love, and that it carries you. And then the faith also allows you to go the distance for God to meet you where you're at and show you the goodness of your own nature. That it's one thing to be kind to others, but if you are not kind to yourself, it's probably going to come off as inauthentic. But the journey to oneself and an own personal view through tragedy is really developing your relationship with your higher self and giving and letting go of the things that we grab onto, the things that we hold, the things that we keep, that keep us bound to our personalities. And then as we start to let go, clarity starts to come, which allows us to take action if needed. That we find that we don't have to plot action anymore, that the things that support us come our way, and that we call them miracles. Because we've let go of something, something must take its place. And if we are pointed, someone was listening to this gentleman that I follow on Instagram. His name is Mystery. And he was saying, your attention, skiers, now I'm not a skier, so if you're a skier, you can correct me. But he was like, when you're at the top of the mountain and they say, don't focus on the trees. If you focus on the trees, you're going to hit one. But if you focus on the space between the trees, you'll be able to easily navigate through the trees. And it's the same with your relationship with God. It's the same if your relationship with driving. When we were driving up, Fish was like, don't let me miss the Cordish Junction exit. And I go, well, don't focus on missing it. And I was telling her the little story about the trees, and I thought, that is a great principle of release and acceptance. It is so hard for the mind. If you've ever tried to get your mind to stop focusing on what you don't want, it's so challenging. It's so challenging. So you kind of got to give your mind a little break, and you have to do a little self-dialogue. And I think I even asked Sue, how she took that journey. And I don't want to give her story away, but I'm so fascinated with the loss that they've incurred, how the pattern of grief and how they moved into love. And I have not met very many people with the profound faith in God and love that Sue has. It was inspiring to me, because one of the things that I work on always is, God, you got me. Do you really got me? Like, wait, let me just peek to make sure you got me. And I am a definite control freak, so it's very hard for me to let go. And recently in a meditation, I was trying this new practice that someone helped me to kind of deregulate. It's probably a somatic practice. And the tears just came, and I thought, why am I crying? And I realized that I was in this total state of surrender. And it's what I felt was, even in my own little office, I felt complete vulnerability. And wanted to go, and there's just this instantaneous where I wanted to take it all back and put all my armor back on and get up and go do the dishes. It was I felt so uncertain and insecure. And in that moment, this voice came to me that said, you want me to love you, let me. And I thought, but I am. And it just repeated, if you want me to love you, let it all go. Let it all the discord, all the books, all the teachings, all the stuff, just let it all go. Put it all down and just stand naked in front of me and give everything to me and let me fill you up. And I was afraid. I had total fear come over me. And the tears just came, and I couldn't even express to you the anxiety was worse than any conflict that I ever had. And I just kept saying, please help me. And the most beautiful and profound sense of love came over me. And I was able to sit there and to just, I'm so sorry, to let this embodiment of just the most beautiful, serene feeling I have ever felt. And to me, it felt like a lifetime. It was probably 3 minutes. And I knew in that moment that I was completely held. And it lasted for a period of time, of course, until probably the kids did something and I was like, rah! And then I realized, oh, it's a practice. It's a becoming. You are already it, but releasing, recognizing, letting go, letting down. It's a self-conversation. Moving from fear to faith to love is a self-conversation of full surrender. Are you willing to lay it down in trust? Now, what happens is a complete clarity. Now, it doesn't mean that we become doormats, and if we don't speak, if we need to speak, we don't. What actually happens is we become so clear about speaking that we are able to do what we call a boundary. We're able to tell the truth about something, and it becomes so clear that that really is love. The fear is the lie that we keep perpetuating every time we're in front of somebody that might be triggering us. And if you're a people pleaser like me, you'll just keep telling the lie because you don't want them to hurt, but meanwhile, you're in deep pain inside. So love is being able to have the conversation with yourself and to completely and totally surrender to the idea that you are held by your own self. Not your little self, but your highest, utmost self. The beautiful part of you that is who we are, but the personality has just absconded with it for a little while. And we are looking at the trees and not the open spaces. I invite you this week to look at the open spaces. And when you hit a tree, just step back and go, oh, there's a tree. And not, oh my God, there's a tree. I ran into it. I always run into the trees. Dang, can you just move the trees, please, so I can get through? And then you just realize, oh, I just need to go a little bit this way. And then focus on the spaces again and allow it. And just watch, just observe through the week the moments that you constrict into fear, and just take that time to ask what you believe in, the God of your understanding, how to see love in this moment. And if you're anything like me, it might take you a week. But that's okay. It just means you got to let a little bit more go, a little bit at a time, a little journaling, a little meditation, a little faith, a little trust, phone a friend. And if you hit another tree, that's okay too, because we're on this planet full of trees and we're going to run into them. But the beauty is the more you practice, the more in tune you get, the more clear you get, the more clarity comes, the more direct knowing you have, the freer you are. Then there are no trees. I invite you into that space this week, and let's ground this in prayer. I just know that there is only one power, one presence, one beloved, beautiful creator. We call it by many names, more than 99, I'm sure. And that this is our truth. This is our eternal essence. This is the thing that we are. And that as we move from the trees to the breeze, as we flow freely through and allowing it to navigate our lives, giving ourselves fully to it to the best that we can, that it helps us navigate, it in tunes, it becomes a momentum of fine skiing through life. And every now and then when we get stopped, we say, The discordant idea is released and given back to the Creator to handle for us, and it revives us, it enlivens us, it illuminates our true nature so that it is taken into every idea, every space, every crack, everything in every part of our lives becomes better with freedom. That I just know if you're struggling, if you are ill, you have financial difficulties, you have relationships or communities or jobs, or you didn't get that promotion, or you didn't get that car, or you have credit issues, it doesn't matter. As you start to ski through the spaces, the divine nature of your highest and utmost self informs you the steps that you need to take, and then we move past the fear and we step into the greater reality that you can and you will and you do, and that faith binds you to the truth. And the next thing you know, that there's a new expression, and you will know it when you say, oh my God, I had a miracle. That this is the beauty of this community. This is the beauty of this teaching, and this is what we are bound to through our mission, our vision, and our principles. It is what we are carrying forth into our future. It is our growth. It is what we are standing on. And as we let go of any adversity, any conflict, we know that God is present here. That it sustains us, it enlivens us, it revigorates us, it heals us from the inside out. It awakens our body, minds, our emotions to be in tune with it so that it may use us for its due good cause. I call this into your life and into mine, and anybody that's witnessing online, anybody that's walking by, and as you meet people, they will recognize your resonance, and they will ask you, I want some of what you got, and you will tell them where to get it. Oh, it's so beautiful. I am so happy. I am so elated to be in the flow of abundance, to recognize that you cannot take away from the fullness of God, that you cannot borrow, you cannot deplete, you cannot take away. The cup runneth over because the fullness of God is who you are. It is like taking an ounce out of the ocean. You do not deplete. It is always replenished. It is always given freely. It is who you are. It is what you are in tune with. It is the divine perfection of you. I release these words into the law knowing they cannot be returned void. Because as we speak the truth is embodied in the heart, and it expands and expands and expands and grows the understanding. This is law, this is love, this is now, and so it is. Let the love wash over me. We let it be. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be. Let the grace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the joys wash over us. We let it be. Did you feel it? I could feel it. Oh my gosh, thank you, Jackson. Magnificent. I love when he sings that song. It's just, one of those songs you just want it to go on and on. I could just feel it. As we watch our abundance grow, as we get to be in tune with Spirit and move from fear to faith to love, knowing that the fullness of Spirit cannot be depleted. As we give, we receive because of the fullness of Spirit. How could it deplete from you if it is the fullness? So in that effort, as we watch our abundance grow, we had 43 people last week. We had a goal of $2,400. We actually took in $861, which we are every bit grateful for. And we know, no matter what that picture says, that the divine Spirit is ever fulfilling us, and that all of our needs are met. And we take our eyes off the trees of fear and lack and limitation, and we put them on the open spaces of fullness and abundance, knowing that is a manifestation of an old consciousness, and we are stepping into a new idea for our center. We are stepping into a new way of being. We are stepping into growth and openness, and it must be supported by Spirit, and that is where we put our attention. We no longer have the trees of limitation. The fullness of Spirit is who you are, and it will be reflected in who we are here in the Centers of Spiritual Living Prescott. Read it with me. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. Thank you, life.
I see trees of green, clouded roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white. I see them day and night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Yeah, why not?
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear the babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Everybody say, oh yeah, with me. Oh yeah.
Wowza. I love that. So good. What a perfect Sunday. Nancy, come on up. Thank you so much for your service today. We deeply appreciate it. And we will pray over this. The abundance, the fullness, just the totality of Spirit is present here. It is always present. It can never be depleted or added unto. As we give, we must receive, because the givingness of Spirit, it is not of taking. It is of that reciprocation of movement. The energy of money is merely the embodiment of the energy of spirit. And once we recognize and understand the fulfillment of spirit, that once you give, you must receive, and the thankfulness of the receiving, it just keeps on coming. And we are so grateful for every ounce of givingness, time, talent, treasure, that it helps us to spread the teachings. It helps us to grow this center. It helps us to become that which we desire to be. It fulfills the mission of handling and caring for our building and the people who run it. And we are so deeply grateful for all of your gifts. It is the flow of spirit in true form. It is the law that replenishes always out of love. And I am so deeply grateful for that, for this center, for you, for this life, for my life, right here, right now. And I say thank you, God, with the deepest sense of appreciation for your fulfillment, for our beautiful, beautiful family and establishment. And so it is. Thank you. It is that time for visitors. I had to come back to my body a little bit. My nervous system is calm. How about yours? I feel a little elated, a little buzzy, as it were. So if you are new to our center, we would love for you to stand up. And I know that kind of takes a little courage if you're not used to doing that. But if you so choose, we would love to just thank you for coming here today and celebrate you and invite you into our family. Is there anybody new today that would like to stand and so that we can just celebrate and get to know you a little bit? No? Well, that's okay. My name is Tracy. I woke up this morning. I'm brand new. If you didn't stand up and you are here, we do deeply appreciate you. There is a used book section, and I always say, new or not, maybe you just need a new book to read at home. Our casa is su casa. Please go grab a book, see what Spirit has for you. Ask the question, what here serves my greater yet to be? And just pick up and open to, I loved, just opening to a page to see what Spirit has for you. It always works for me. So please feel free to take a book and join us in our community room for some light refreshments and snacks and get to know your fellow folks, neighbors, friends, and have some nice community time. We deeply appreciate you. We love you. And Jackson, can you take us away with the benediction?
I can.
All right. Stand.
Why don't everybody please stand and grab a hand if you're comfortable. And up on the screen is our benediction. So we say this together and then we sing our way out with the peace song. You ready? Here we go.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, body, my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.